and welcome to the Questing Guild. I'm your host, Alexander Zapeta, and on today's episode, we're going to be going over how to create a character, more specifically, how to create the race, background, and class. This is going to be the first of 3 videos going over characters and character sheets. Now, of course, the first thing that you'll need in order to create your character is a copy of the player's handbook, which you can either buy a physical copy of, or you can find a PDF of it online, and a character sheet. Now, you can either use a traditional character sheet, or you can use certain websites like D&D Beyond that will help you create a character sheet. For this video, I'm going to be using a traditional paper and pencil in order to create the character sheet. Now, the important thing to remember is that if you're creating a character sheet on paper, never use a pen, because you'll be constantly erasing and adding in new information on this character sheet, and you don't want anything stuck there permanently. Another thing you'll need is a copy of the player's handbook. You can find a PDF of this anywhere online, or you can buy a physical copy. Personally, I'm going to be using a PDF that's currently on my laptop right now. Now, one of the most important things to remember when you're creating a character is to communicate with your DM about what the expectations are for the campaign. Most DMs will be nice and say create whatever kind of character you want with very few limitations. But sometimes you have a DM who has a specific vision for what he wants his campaign to be and what he wants your characters to be. My friend has a D&D campaign coming up that revolves around some sort of dragon cult, and he said that his players are going to be members of this cult, so he wants us to create a character that is a member of a cult. So as of right now, I'm going to show you how I go about creating that character. So like I said, my friend's campaign is going to involve his players being a part of a cult, which I think is a pretty fun idea. This also is going to have me being outside of my wheelhouse because, I'll tell you a secret, in real life I'm not part of any cults, but I get to play a character that is obsessed with a cult. So I thought, why not make a knight-type character that's very much a crusader, that's very religious and follows his religion to a T. This type of character would believe that no matter what, they're always in the right and that they're always righteous, and that anything they do is justified by their religion, which I think is a pretty interesting idea for a character. So I've already figured out their background. They're a crusader of sorts, a fanatic, but a warrior. So I think for someone like that, I'll probably make a paladin-type character. Now, quoting directly from the player's handbook, here's what it has to say about what paladins are. Whatever their origin and their mission, paladins are united by their oaths to stand against the forces of evil. Whether sworn before a god's altar and the witness of a priest, in a sacred glade, before nature spirits and fey beings, or in a moment of desperation and grief, with the dead as the only witness, a paladin's oath is a powerful bond. It is a source of power that turns a devout warrior into a blessed champion. So basically, paladins are driven by their righteousness, by the fact that they believe they are doing good. Sometimes this can be religious, or sometimes they can swear an oath to a king. Now, there are plenty of other classes that you can play as. Rogue, fighter, ranger, and all of whom have really great explanations within the player's handbook or any other online source that you can find. So right now on my character sheet, I'm going to write down paladin, and of course he's going to start at level 1. Now for race, I think I want to keep things pretty simple. I think I'll just make my paladin a human. Now of course, there are plenty of other races in D&D other than human. Elves, orcs, dwarves, dragonborn. There are plenty of fantastical races that you can embody and have a lot of fun playing with that each have their own unique abilities. Now humans are kind of plain. They don't really get any special abilities, and all they really get is an additional bonus to their ability scores. Of course, that doesn't mean you can't have fun playing a human. It all depends on how you play the character and how you integrate its abilities and its backstory into the game. So on my character sheet, I'm going to write human under where it says race. Now let's give this character a name. He's a religious fanatic, and I'm going to be very unoriginal, and I'm going to steal the name from another religious fanatic from a fantasy series that we all know. I'm going to call him Stannis, named after Stannis Baratheon from the Game of Thrones series. So, now we've gone over how to create your character's race, class, and background. Make sure you stay tuned for next week's episode where we go over ability scores and how to do all that fun math. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode of the Questing Guild. And until next time, best of luck on your adventures, traveler.